What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simply FPL. Time for a game week 7 recap. Now, I know the week's not quite over, but it pretty much is for my team. I'm recording this halfway through United Arsenal after watching my team Everton, their performance against Newcastle, and then seeing the first half of the United game. I think I'm done with football for the weekend, so figured I'll get this video up early again. I actually quite like the Sunday videos as well, so as of next week there isn't actually a Monday game, so hopefully next week's video will be up after all the fixtures are done. But anyway, let's crack on with this. So before we get started on the game week 7 recap, just something I thought people might find funny. So I think over the last few years, people there's kind of a race to the top of the most valuable list, see who can make their team the most valuable. So you'll always see someone at the end of the season with a team which is like 112 million or something crazy. I've actually noticed there seems to be like a race for the lowest points possible in fantasy football. So these are the bottom 10 teams in fantasy football as it stands, and that team on the left is the worst team in fantasy football as it stands. So this guy has made 23,640 substitutes, and it's currently game week 7. So if you ever think maybe you're wasting your life, just have a quick look at this team and just consider what this guy's doing all day, every day. Like, his hand must be killing after clicking this many times. So he's currently on minus 94,000 points. So he's probably not going to finish in the top half. But sure, Wahab Parker, you made the stream, which over 7 million other football teams will never make this stream. So there he is there. His team he's got 25 million in the bank. So yeah, he can probably still change it up a little bit. He actually got 1 point. Now, if you do want to be a bit depressed, just check out this team is 6th bottom. They've got 52 points this game week. So that's more than most teams, I'd say. But anyway, it's probably not something I'll keep an eye on, but something I noticed that I thought was quite funny. So let's get on to my team. So here we go. Game week points, currently on 48 after the Calvert-Lewin gets his 2 bonus points. Game week rank 271,000th. That was before the United Arsenal game. So again, happy enough with that. I think after Saturday's fixtures, we probably could have hoped for a bit better. But yeah, we're happy enough with that. We've halved our rank. We were like 1.2 millionth. We're currently 630,000th. And that's even after Grealish's points. So yeah, let's look at the individual performances, shall we? So started off okay with the Wolves game. Now, I've been saying for weeks that Podence, he just looks like he's on the cusp of getting a load of points. The Wolves game started out relatively well. Now, Podence actually got the assist for the first goal. I don't care what anyone says. I cannot believe he didn't get given that because the ball took a slight nick off the defender's head. So once that wasn't given to him, I thought this is just going to be another week where Podence just gets robbed. And not long after that, he pinged one in. So got himself 8 points. Still not going to be a permanent fixture in my team, but happy he finally rewarded me after all the patience I've had with him. Disappointing that Saiss never got on the pitch. Now, usually when a defender doesn't start for you and the team, and it doesn't look like he's going to get many minutes on the pitch, you kind of want him to stay off the pitch. I didn't obviously have any subs, so I was hoping he'd come on for 1 point just to screw everyone else up, and obviously it will give me a bonus as well. Again, Saiss, he's just not going to last in this team, so it's not just the fact that he didn't get on the team sheet and he maybe won't get on the team sheet for the next few weeks, perhaps. It's more that Wolves fixtures are going to turn in the next couple of weeks, so there's not really going to be much value in having their players anymore. Moving on to City Sheffield United. City look bang average again. They're kind of missing that number 9 still. I thought Kevin De Bruyne looked relatively good. Mahrez just, like, he was really, really poor. It's still not gelling for them. I'm still considering at least a double up on City players. I mean, it'll be a treble up because I've got Delap on the bench, but like, they've got such a good run of fixtures coming up, and I'm hoping they'll play a lot better when that happens. So I'm not too worried just yet, but it was good to see that a lot of people in my leagues had Foden and Mahrez. It's good to see that Foden didn't get any points, and then Mahrez obviously didn't really contribute much either. I think he finished on 3. Burnley Chelsea. So this was the game I was looking forward to all week. So I doubled up on the Chelsea defense. Not only that, but Chilwell and James are obviously the wing backs. So you're kind of watching the game. Like, at any moment, either of them could get some points. And I mean, how many times did they almost get an assist and almost get a goal? There was a moment in the first half where James put a cross in, and Chilwell was maybe a foot away from getting his head on that. That would have been like the absolute ultimate for my team. So look, we got a clean sheet, 12 points between the two of them. I'd have taken that before the match, but based on how that match went, a bit disappointed they didn't get some sort of attack in return as well. But sure, that's just the way it is. Ziyech also looked very, very good. 8 million, definitely potential there. Now, it's not something I'm considering myself just because of the layout of my team. And again, I'm hoping to get a City midfielder in there as well. But definitely want to keep an eye on. Werner also looked quite good as well. So he wasn't meant to start, but Pulisic actually got injured in the warm-up. So he ended up starting, getting his goal. Thought he looked all right. So hopefully, again, there's a player I am considering, which I'll talk about in a moment. So hopefully he kind of nails his place again. It'd be a bit difficult if all of a sudden he's dropped. Going on to the last game of that day then. So Liverpool-West Ham. So I had Salah captain, as did, I think, 25% of managers. So we're all watching, hoping that he gets some sort of return. Alexander-Arnold loses his clean sheet early on. He's toast. Like, there's just... barring a miracle, he won't be in my team from next week. So I'd like to say it was nice having you in, but like it really wasn't. What a waste of money. Although he'll probably come good now. I'm going to get rid of him. Salah got the dubious penalty, pinged it in, like got himself a bonus point. Like it wasn't an amazing performance by Liverpool, really. The one bright spark was Jota. I'm going to keep an eye out on Jota because he's a midfielder. Firmino has been very poor this season. Jota's now 3 goals in 3 home games. I could easily see him kind of taking Firmino's spot. So maybe Liverpool fans might give an opinion on that. Kind of drop your opinions in the comments. Jota, it's like 6.5 million, I think, 6.3 million. Like if he starts getting a place in that team ahead of Firmino, he's going to be a no-brainer. So yeah, he was a bright spark. Moving on to Villa Southampton, the early game today. It was kind of like Grealish versus Barkley. Now, 3 weeks ago, I said to everyone, I'm going Barkley because I think they're going to be very similar players and I could use that 1.3 million elsewhere. It's just a painful day today. Barkley got himself the 2 points, whereas Grealish has got himself 15 points. He looked brilliant. So, yeah, well done to everyone that's a Grealish owner. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. Ward-Prowse as well, man, his free kicks are unbelievable. So again, I'm not an owner of his, but well done if you have him. And it's worth noting actually Danny Ings got injured at the end of that game as well, so you have to keep an eye out on how long he might be out for. He looked like a knee injury, and obviously he's had quite a few knee injuries over his career, so it might be a chance for Che Adams to kind of step up, and again, someone I might consider. Newcastle Everton. So the wheels are falling off for Everton. It just, like I've said, that all the deluded Everton fans that thought we were going to be challenging for top 4, and some of them thought challenging for the title, they've kind of been putting their back in their box a little bit. Like we're just 1 or 2 injury/suspensions away from having no real team. So look, this might be what happens for the rest of the season. Like when we've got all the players playing, there's always going to be points there, but when there's a couple of lads missing, like we didn't really have any flair or creativity today, with Richarlison, James Rodriguez and Luca Digne missing. So I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin somehow managed to get a goal in the last few minutes, so he's going to get himself 8 points there. Happy days. But yeah, they look very poor. I'm not going to get rid of Rodriguez this week. I want to see him and Calvert-Lewin playing against United next week. But I think medium term, I think James may get the cut, just because I think the money could be spent better elsewhere. And I've got Son and Kane then left to play later on this evening. Now, not really that important, I don't think, because it seems everyone has Son and Kane now. Certainly everyone in the top million anyway. So I don't have him as captain. I see a lot of people have Kane and Son as captain. So I'm actually watching that game, not even knowing what I'm cheering for. Like if Son and Kane do really well, I could end up dropping quite a lot. I know quite a couple of lads that I've got bets against this year. Like one of them has Kane captain. So I'm kind of rooting against Kane, even though he's in my team. It's kind of funny how that works out. So yeah, although they've not played yet, I don't think it's going to make that much difference to my team. If he scores 5 or scores none, probably won't rise or drop by that much. So that's the team. Happy enough with how it played out. Could have been better, but it definitely could have been worse. So one thing I wanted to quickly talk about, and I'll probably put a video up during the week. The fixtures are about to change for a lot of teams. So the teams that had really good opening 6-7 fixtures all of a sudden are finding themselves with some quite tricky fixtures. So there's going to be a few considerations to have. So the players I've got circled there, they're the 5 I'm kind of considering getting rid of over the next 3 to 4 weeks. There'll definitely be hits taken at some point. So I'm strongly considering getting rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Delap this week. And I can get rid of those 2 and put Kufal for West Ham and Werner in for Chelsea. Now, West Ham have really good fixtures, and Chelsea have some good fixtures coming up. So I'm certain that might be the transfer I make. Now, I don't think I'm going to knee-jerk it today, which could mean that Alexander-Arnold drops to 7.3 million. You know I'm usually against absorbing the drop in prices, but I just think with the Champions League this week, it might be worth waiting. There's going to be a few of my players kind of missing, so I don't want to be playing another week with 10 or even 9 men. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in the next week. And then I think James Rodriguez and Harry Kane will probably go in 2 weeks' time together. I'm thinking at the moment it would be for Kevin De Bruyne and potentially Bamford. So I've slated him enough, but just his price, and I can just about afford that transfer in. I don't think I can afford I definitely can't afford a Wilson. I'll have to check on Che Adams. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. And then Sice at some point is going to be dropped for a 5 million or less defender. Wolves fixtures, they're turning, and obviously he's not even nailed on anymore, so he's a no-brainer. And yeah, I've been talking about getting rid of James in defence, but after seeing he was one of the best players on the park for Chelsea there, creativity-wise. Like, he must have put a dozen balls in the box. Like, on another day, he could have got several returns. So for 5 million, I'm definitely keeping him for at least a couple more weeks, just to see if he nails that position down. Chelsea are just looking so good defensively, and there's not too many teams that are looking great defensively. So if he can nail his team position down, we've got their 2 wing backs that could create points at any moment. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. With that, I'm not going to get rid of Barkley, even though he's kind of let me down. The reason I'm not is just because Villa's fixtures are so good, and unless I was going to upgrade him to Grealish, which would screw all of my other plans up for those 5 fixtures, there's no point doing anything with him. So I'm going to keep Barkley in there. Disappointing that he wasn't on pens, but he was on some of the free kicks and the corners today. So hopefully we'll get enough returns to justify the 5.9 million. Doesn't need to be that crazy, but the occasional attacking return would be nice. So yeah, that's that. I'm probably going to do some sort of watch list during the week, and then we'll end up probably having a video up on Wednesday or Thursday for game week 8. So if you've watched to this point, do hit that subscribe button. It's appreciated. We're pushing 600 now. And sure, lob a comment in. Tell me how you've got on. And yeah, sure, let me know which players were the best ones for you this week. And yeah, that's that. We will see you on the other side of the game week. And I'm going to go watch the end of the United-Arsenal game now. And yeah, watch the Tottenham game. Not really knowing what I'm hoping for. So yeah, sure, we'll see you in a couple of days.